Hello from Myrtle Beach. Today we're going to take you on a drive, or a bike ride in this case, down Ocean Boulevard and show you everything that Ocean Boulevard has to offer here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Hi, I'm Carmen. If you're new here, we cover everything in Myrtle Beach and the surrounding area. If you're a return viewer, welcome back. We are so glad to have you with us. So it is a beautiful day. We've got a few clouds, but that's typical this time of the year. Off and on cloudy, but lots of sun and heat. So we're going to show you all the hotels, all the restaurants, all the entertainment here along Ocean Boulevard, as well as talk about a few new things. And we got some breaking news to share with you pretty soon here. I'm going to wait till we get up to that point. But we've got news of a iconic restaurant, been here 15 years, that's closing at the end of this season. So if you're coming this year and you want to go there, this will be your last chance. So we'll share that with you as well. So we're coming up here. We are going southbound. If you're not familiar with Ocean Boulevard, it runs north to south. So we are headed southbound right now. And you can also go northbound. We have some videos going that direction. If you're curious, you can check those out on our channel. If you ever want to find anything on our channel, just go to YouTube, search for Carmen and Brian Myrtle Beach, and then put in whatever you'd like to see, like Ocean Boulevard tour, whatever, and it will come up for you. We cover everything in this area, so it will be there for you for your convenience. Also, if you have suggestions you'd like to see, just let us know in the comments below. So as you're watching this video, if you find it helpful, definitely give it a like or a thumbs up. That helps other people find our video. To the left, that is going to be a new Hilton hotel. They sort of started working on the groundwork, but then they stopped. So I don't know if that's a permitting issue, but that's going to be a Hilton Vacation Club property. So definitely something to keep your eye on. I think it's going to be called Oceans 23, but don't quote me on that. So we'll see as things go. We'll definitely keep up with that for you. Here's the Breakers. We definitely hear from a lot of you that you like staying there. Seems to be a popular place. And right next to that is a couple of Marriott resorts that are pretty new. They opened last year. It's the Marriott Spring Hill Suites and Courtyard combo. Over on the left, that's those really big tall buildings. And we got an issue here. And sorry about that, I just want to make sure I didn't hit anyone. And if you're wondering, they did not have the right of way. It's here the law is definitely pedestrians have the right of way most of the time, but in an intersection where there are the crosswalk that tell you when to go and when not to go, you have to obey those if you're a pedestrian. So it just didn't want you to think I did not have the right of way. I did at that point. We get lots of comments like that. Don't worry, I always err on the side of pedestrians. That's why I slowed down there. I'd rather them just go and be safe anytime. So here's the big news right here. You see Lulu's on the right. Now I will say this is based on a Facebook post. I will also say that those things sometimes change. So take this with a grain of salt and don't come and be mad at me later if it changes. But as of now, the owner of Lulu's right here on the right side of the road has said that after 15 years at the end of this tourist season of 2025, obviously it's very much open right now. She is going to close that location, but she's not going away. She's going to take her breakfast and go to the Conch Cafe, which is down, I think the address is technically Murrells Inlet, but I think of it as in the Garden City. It's right on the ocean. It's oceanfront. She's going to take her breakfast there. So it sounds like she's doing a joint venture with them. So that's pretty interesting. So we'll keep you posted as we learn more. And if that changes, we'll also let you know, because like I said, based on a Facebook post, I'm not saying the owner doesn't mean what she's saying now, but people change their minds. You know, it happens. So over here to the left, that is where the new Margaritaville resort will be. And it's actually going to span over on the right side and even Third Row, which is another street back to the right. So that's going to be a massive resort. They are continuing with getting city approvals. We've seen that move through, so that's still moving forward even though they're not building yet. We do keep getting news updates on that. That's a really big deal. It's going to be a huge resort, bring a lot of people and money to this area, a lot of jobs. So that's an exciting thing. Definitely good for the area, whether you're a Jimmy Buffett fan or not. I know a lot of people are. Leave it in the comments. Let us know, are you a Jimmy Buffett fan or are you not a Jimmy Buffett fan? Leave it in the comments. I'm gonna take the fifth so I don't upset it. No, I wouldn't call myself a fan, but I'm not like an anti either. I'm just sort of neutral. It's not my musical choice, I guess I could say, but it doesn't bother me either. I'm just sort of neutral to it. But I know a lot of people are huge fans, not just of the music, but the lifestyle it represents, which I totally get that. I fully support the living near the beach, near the water. Obviously, if you're not familiar with us, we do live here. So I'm all full support of the beach relaxing lifestyle. The Funplex closed. Closed quite a while ago. We brought that to you, but I just want to mention it since the sign was there as we go by. And then we're coming up on the Olympic Flame Pancake House. So many of you have told us you love it. So if you guys are looking for somewhere for breakfast, let me look at the full parking lot. That's what my dad always said. He always said, look for the place with the full parking lot, and they've definitely got it. So in a big line out the door, that's another good sign. So that's, I would say, even though we haven't eaten there, I'd say that's a pretty safe bet. Here's Riptides on the left. Now, some of you have said you would like me to list off more of the things as we bike by. Some of you said you hate that when I do that. So I don't know which you prefer. Leave it in the comments, just get a feel. Here's the beach house on the right. I'm trying to intersperse it with other discussion, so it's not just me constantly listing everything off. We're going so slow on the bike, you should be able to read the hotel signs. Because on the bike, we're only going like 8 to 10 miles an hour, because this is not an e-bike like that. This is the manual labor sort, and I'm also not trying to go fast. I'm trying to show you the scenery, so you should be able to see everything. So there's, of course, the beautiful Skywheel. It's a ride we definitely love. We've got a couple videos on that. Got something interesting in the street here that I don't want to run over. Don't know what that was. You see all kinds of interesting things when you bike. That is one advantage of biking. Only bike at your own risk. It is definitely risky here. I'm not necessarily saying that you should do it, but you definitely see some interesting stuff here. We have seen an inordinate amount of chicken bones, go figure, in the bike lane. Chicken bones in the bike lane. It's not that, if you had asked me what will you see the most of, that is not what I would have guessed, but yep. So I gotta guess that people cruise down the boulevard, gnaw on some chicken and toss it in the street. I mean, that's the only thing I could figure. So this is the centralmost part of Ocean Boulevard where all the main attractions are. You got all the Ripley's attractions, Gay Dolphin. You've got lots of restaurants. You've got all kinds of places to eat, all kinds of fun stuff to do here. And the Ripley's attractions that you see there, those you can actually buy a pass for. In the Ripley's attractions you see here, you can get a multi-pass to go to multiple attractions, so that's always an option to save some money. They've also got an aquarium over at Broadway at the beach. We've got videos of both the aquarium and Broadway at the beach if you're interested. It's just a little over a mile from here, not far away. So you could definitely do all those attractions. Also, if you want to come to any of these attractions here and you're worried about parking, there is parking here, and yes, we have a video on where to park. There's paid parking, there's free parking, there's lots of options. Depends on how far you're willing to walk. And we cover all of that in our video, so definitely check that out. And then here is Ripley's, believe it or not, that's another Ripley's attraction. You got Peach's Corner on the left. And over to the left is the volleyball course. Over to the right is what used to be the Pavilion Amusement Park, and now it is a festival ground. That's what they use it for mostly. It's like Carolina Country Music Festival, World's Strongest Man competition, you name it, food truck festival. Well, actually, no, they moved the food truck festival, sorry, that's at the old mall, not our current mall, but the old mall site. But anyway, they have a lot of festivals here. And also, if you're wondering what time of day, we always get that question. It is 10:42 right now at this moment. So just to give you what time of the day it is. And it's a fair amount of people out for this time, but I wouldn't say it's crowded. I would say this is a medium to light day. The traffic on this road definitely picks up in the afternoon. I would say post 4 p.m. If you want to see wall-to-wall cars, especially on the weekend, post 4 p.m. And now I'm talking about during tourist season. When the tourist season is over, it's wide open. But over to your left, we talk about this and show it in more detail in our Boardwalk tour videos. But this is a new condo rental place on the left, not the Diplomats, before that on this corner. It's called Ocean Escape, and you can look it up on the web and check them out. I don't think they're taking reservations yet, but they may be by the time this video comes out. I don't know. It could change at any moment, but that is a new place to rent. As far as I know, you cannot buy them, and they are going to have shops on the bottom level, so you'll be able to do some shopping and go to restaurants. And then, as I mentioned, that was the Diplomat on the left. And so now we're to the south end of Ocean Boulevard, and the beginning of the south end. We still have the boardwalk to the left. A lot of people don't realize this, but our boardwalk is 1.2 miles, and they're talking about expanding it to that Margaritaville hotel I mentioned, which would make it even longer. That has not been finalized, but we'll let you know if that happens. But it is quite a long boardwalk. So all these hotels you see right now on my left, that's called Ocean Front. Those are on the boardwalk right now. And to my right, that's called second row. So any hotels, condos, resorts you see on that side, that's considered second row. So that's something to keep in mind. If you don't mind crossing the street, you can save a lot of money, but you may not be able to see the ocean out of your room. Like these are a perfect example over here. The building on the ocean side is blocking any view they would have of the ocean. So that's the only downside that you have there. I got to give this Holiday Sands North to my right a shout out. It is also on the boardwalk, and I have had so many of you, meaning our viewers, let us know that that's a good place to stay, that it's not fancy, but it's clean and good location. So just to give that a little shout out. We have not stayed there personally, so I can't vouch for it personally, but we have definitely heard a lot of good things about it from you. So we appreciate that. We always appreciate the feedback. If you have a hotel you love here on Ocean Boulevard, or even one to avoid, definitely leave that in the comments. That helps other viewers so they know what to look for or what to avoid. And if you could even give some info, like why do you like it or why do you not like it, that kind of helps too. And so as we keep going, there's the Wayfarer on the right. Also earlier today, I actually saw a hotel with a no vacancy sign, which kind of surprised me because like I said, I don't feel like this is super packed busy right now. So I don't know if they just forgot to turn the no off. I don't know, I can't tell you. Because we are coming into the time of year which, you know, is not as packed. Still warm, still a great time to come. You gotta keep an eye on the weather this time of the year. It is hurricane season, but it's still a good time to come as far as warm water. Ocean water is still plenty warm to swim in, still hot temperatures. But you do, like I said, have to keep an eye on the big forecast and, you know, keep a close watch on that. Hurricane season actually runs from June through November, but this area, Myrtle Beach specifically, sees the most hurricane activity that affects us, that not just hurricanes, but that affects this area in late August, September, and early October, with September being the highest month. So that's something to keep in mind when you're planning your trips. But we love the fall here. I mean, we really do. It's a great time to be here. It's not as crowded. So there is the Wicked Tuna on the 2nd Avenue Pier to the left. And the boardwalk extends to that as well. So, I mean, that just gives you an idea how long the boardwalk is. It's not just that main central area. This house always interests me. If you know anything about it on the right, let me know. I don't know if it's a rental or someone lives there. I'm thinking rental. But it's interesting because it looks just like a regular house. It doesn't, you know, look like these fancy new rentals. It's, you know, definitely not far from the beach for sure. So in the distance, we're coming up to Family Kingdom. We'll pass that, don't worry, we'll get a better look, but I can see the Ferris wheel barely and the roller coaster, which is called the Swamp Fox. It's a wooden roller coaster. Go ahead and start talking about it a little as we pass some of these hotels. Bar Harbor is over to the left, and Ocean One is over to, well, actually, I think that's their check-in office. I think Ocean One's that huge building on the left. But so Family Kingdom is an amusement park. They have tourist season. They're only open during the tourist season. It changes every year. You have to check their website. They have a calendar on their website, shows you what days they're open and what times. And so I highly recommend you check their website for the times because it changes. It can be different on one day to the next day. They do stick with whatever's on the calendar, but my point is if it opens at 3 one day, you can't be guaranteed they're going to open at 3 or at all the next day. You have to check. Very important. They do have their own parking, which is quite pricey, but you don't have to pay to get in. You pay by the ride, or you buy they call it an all-day wristband, but they don't open till late in the day, like afternoon or evening. So it's a one-day wristband, I guess, for whatever hours they're open, and ride as many rides as you want. But there's no admission to get in. You just have to pay to park somewhere. So Myrtle Beach does charge for parking year-round now, and so that is an issue now as far as there's really very little free parking available. As I mentioned, there's a little free parking if you're willing to walk near the boardwalk, but I'm not aware of any in this area. There may be. Leave in the comments if you know of any, but I'm not aware of any. But I will say, if you're not going to stay here a long time at Family Kingdom, and you can find parking on the street, the city parking, that is probably going to be cheaper than the Family Kingdom parking price. Also, to the left, they turn the old Splashes Water Park grounds into a parking lot, and it is expensive. I know one day we saw it was like $20. The price varies, but it was expensive right across the street here from family kingdom. So the park opens at 3 today, so that's what I'm talking about, how it changes each day. And sometimes it's 5 p.m., sometimes they're not open, it just depends. But they will close down. It's one of the few things in this area that actually closes during the off season. It makes sense. I mean, it's not that fun. I mean, sure, Brian and I go to theme parks when it's cold. We've actually been at Disney World when it's like 40 degrees and raining, but that's unusual there. I mean, of course, but it can happen. But it's not that fun to be on rides or out at an amusement park or theme park when it's weather like that. It's really not. So I get why they close it, because despite it being far warmer here than in the north, and yeah, we don't typically get snow, even though we got that huge snowfall, which we have a video of this year. Typically, we do not get snow. If we do, it doesn't last. It's really, to me, the very cold months are January, February, and the beginning of March. And I think March surprises people. They think, oh, March, spring. It can be really cold in the first part of March. Really windy, really cold. To me, that's the coldest part. And if you want my favorite month here, it's October. I love October here. Towards the latter part of October, it's getting too cold to swim. I'm not talking about the air temperature, I'm talking about the ocean temperature in the ocean. But usually I have just great outdoor temperatures, really nice time of the year, and very little in the way of crowds. I mean, it's not empty, but it's not packed, and you don't have to worry about, dealing with large amounts of people. So pretty nice. If you'd like to learn more about Myrtle Beach and the surrounding area, be sure to click on the video on your screen right now. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.